Hi guys, I was asked a question to do with beat making in EZ Drummer. It's quite a tricky subject, but I'll try and do the best I can to give you a quick crash course now to make your own beats quickly. Hopefully with a bit of practice you should be able to make your own. This is not going to be comprehensive, this is going to be a quick how to get going. Right, first things first, we've got an instance of Reaper open, and we have EZ Drummer loaded up. I'm just using the stock kit because that's the one most people have access to. And let's start making some beats. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is we need to make some Midi. What we do is we hold down Control and a pencil will come up. And then of course you drag the pencil across to make a Midi space. So you can make it as long or as short as you want. In this case we're going to make it 2 bars long. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to double click on it to open it. Now inside of here you're going to see this on the left there's a piano roll. And the piano roll of course has all the different drum parts on it. Just mapped to keys. So for example that's a kick drum, that's a snare, that's a tom. Anyhow. We're going to start by drawing things in. Now if you notice that there is bar lines here, this is 2 and this is 3 and this is 4, etc. Now in this case we're at 120 beats per minute in 4/4, and you'll see that the beats are here and the bar lines are here. So the bars here, beat 1, beat 2, beat 3 and beat 4. So let's start by putting a kick drum in on beat 1. Now you can literally move this or put it anywhere on the grid. Up and down of course will correspond with the piano. That'll give you different drum sounds depending on where you put it. And left or right will determine where it hits in the beat you're making. So right now we want a kick drum at the very start. So next thing we want a snare. So this is beat 2 here. We're going to put a snare in there. So that's snare. There it is. And you'll notice that there's a kind of a faint pink line going across. That'll indicate where we are. Kick drum here, and on beat 2 a snare. So we just draw it in like that. Hold down click and draw across. You make this as long or short as you want, but it won't really affect drums. It's more for other MIDI instruments. So let's click back at the start and hit spacebar to play. Okay, so we can draw 2 more in over here by doing the same thing. So we get this. So what we have now is pretty standard drum beat. So we've got another bar here and we don't want to have to draw it all in all over again. So what you do is you hold down right click and you select all of what you've just done. Then you hold down Control, click on the first beat there and drag that across to the next bar. So now you've got 2 bars. Now let's start having some fun with this thing. That's a very stock beat. It's just going, which is fine, but let's make it more interesting. So for example, we could put an extra kick drum in here if we wanted to. So here we go. We can move back and forth depending on where we want it to be. And just move things around to taste. And if you wanted death metal drumming or whatever like that, you could just make a load of these. Like machine gun feet. The idea is you just draw in what you want where you want it. Now you check the piano roll up the side. A cymbal there, it's nice. So what I might do is I might put this on this beat here. Start the next bar. So now I've clicked on that. There's a pink line going across here, so I know where to put it. I click here. Now I'm going to go back to the start of that. I'm going to minimize my head. And I'm going to play it by pressing spacebar. That doesn't really work very well, does it? That might work better. So I can just grab this guy here and move it up a bit. It's not bad. But you get the idea, wherever you want drums, you can literally just draw them in. So the idea is that you find the drum you're after, Once you've clicked on it, you'll see there's a faint pink line going across. And I'll tell you where it is, and you just draw it in where you want it to be. So let's first play on that and see how it sounds. Okay, cool. What I'm going to do now is look for some hi-hats. So just hold down, click, and drag down the piano roll until you find something that works. So I'm going to draw one on every beat. And for the sake of saving time, of course, you can hold down, right click, select that whole lot, hold down control, grab the first beat, and just drag it across. Let's see how that sounds. Now, I want those hi-hats to be a little louder, so I'm going to highlight the whole lot of them. And if you go to any of these beats, you'll get kind of an up and down arrow. And that'll kind of tell you the hit strength. You can drag it up or down. Or you could go down to the bottom where the hi-hats are already selected and drag them up or down. That's okay, but it's not very amazing. It's not blowing my mind. So what I'm going to do is to double up the hi-hats. And how I'm going to do that, hold down right click, select a lot of them, hold down control, click on the first one and just drag it across. So now we got twice the amount of hi-hats. So let's play and see what happens. But you get the idea from here. You can literally just go, okay, here's an extra kick drum. Here's an extra 3 kick drums on that one. And we can add in maybe an extra snare here. You know, so let's play that now and see what happens. And I'm going to put in an extra snare there, an extra 2 snares here. Okay, so now let's go back to the very start. And minimize my head for a second. Click on the very start of your beat. The last 2 snares don't really work very well, so I'm going to just delete one of them. Or maybe I'll move it over. Let's see. That works. Well, that's how you'd go about it if you're creating 2 bars. Now, I'm going to close this thing out. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to hold down control, and the pencil comes up, and I'm going to drag it across. It'll do that thing, just delete that. Go to the start of a bar, hold down control, get the pencil, and just drag it across to where you want it to be. You can have it 1 bar, 2 bars long, 3 bars long, 4 bars long, as long as you want it to be. So let's make a 1 bar beat. We're going to hold down control, and the pencil will come up, and we just drag that across. Double click into it. Now we've got a 1 bar space. Okay, so this is the same deal as before. We go up the piano roll until we find things we like. So in this case, kick drum. I might put a kick drum here. I'm going to skip that one. I'm going to put a kick drum here. So I'm going to see what that sounds like by clicking on the start and hitting spacebar. Sounds very Black Sabbath-esque. The Iron Man? No? Okay. Anyhow. Let's put some toms in. Why not? So I've clicked on that. There's a pink line going across here showing me where I'm at. I'm going to draw in a tom. There's a different tom here, so I'm going to grab the 2 of these by holding down right click, dragging over them, hold down control, and make a copy of those up there. And what I'm going to do is drag this across here. Let's see what happens. As you can see, this is literally just a matter of experimentation to see what works, what you like, and all the rest of that stuff. You literally just draw in what you want, in a very literal sense. Okay, let's do another bit up here. Okay. Right click, drag across the whole lot of them, hold on control. Instead of a kick there, I'm going to have a snare. And maybe a cymbal. Okay. And there's a drum roll. So you can literally just draw in the bits and pieces that you actually want. Now the thing is, whenever you draw these in, the hit strength is usually all the same, so in some cases it may not be, but for the most part it is. You know, the way these are all maxed out. And that doesn't sound very human. It sounds a bit too robotic. Okay, so what we can do is first of all select the whole lot of them. And then drag the hit strength down by either using the sliders on here or going to the top of each beat. Let's drag them down a little bit. Right. That still doesn't sound very human. So what we can do if we want is to take each individual beat and adjust the hit strength. So we can go that one to be a little less loud, that one to be a little bit louder, that one to be louder than that. So in my head I'm kind of building this thing up a bit because it's a roll. Okay. So I'm going to minimize my head for a second. Now let's take a listen. So it sounds a bit more like a human being is playing. He's building up in strength as he's going across the drums. Now you apply this to the same as the drum beats you've done before. The quick way is to highlight everything by holding down Control and A and pressing H. And you get the humanize function. And with that you can basically randomize, adjust the velocity or the timing a little bit to make it a little bit more human. So I'm going to give it 5% of a timing adjustment, 15% of a velocity adjustment. See what that does. Because this is all experimentation. This is literally just kind of drawing and whatever you feel works. So let's try that now. Now, let's play it. Sounds very realistic. Sounds like an actual drummer is playing. Obviously with MIDI, if you adjust the tempo here, it's going to adjust the tempo of the MIDI. So if I turn this up to 150, or if I play this fast, I'm going to quickly go in here and just turn all these down a little bit. They're a bit loud. And I'm going to humanize this a bit. I'm going to hold down Control, press A, click H. 15%, yeah, that's good. And go like that. So, let's see. I'm going to put these two together for fun. And from that, hopefully you can extrapolate how to make your own drum beats. Now it does take time and patience and practice, and the more you do it, the better you get at it. The more you go, okay, this works better there, snares and kick drums work better here. Now you could also do it this way if you wanted just a very quick way. You could set this to a MIDI input, like in my case it's the MPK Mini. Turn on record monitoring, and then of course I'll show what I'm up to. Here we have this guy, and you'll see here it's so I'm going to turn on the metronome and hit record. Hopefully from all that you can extrapolate how to do this stuff for yourself. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully that video wasn't too long, and hopefully you found something useful you can use out of it. If you like this video, please hit like and subscribe, and please hit the bell button to get notifications. I'll catch you all again soon. Take care, guys.